Welcome back to Celebrial, where the stories behind the legends finally get told. Before the champagne deals, billionaire boardrooms, and Rock Nation power moves, Jay-Z had a serious problem, and his name was DMX. Backstage at a Def Jam event in Manhattan, tension between the two was so heavy it felt like the calm before a storm. Years later, even 50 Cent would say Jay was lucky DMX didn't pull the trigger that night. This wasn't rap beef. It was street code, ego, and power colliding. But the real story goes back even further. It's 1994. New York is cold, raw, and unforgiving. Inside a cramped Bronx studio with blown speakers and peeling posters, two hungry MCs step up for a showdown.
That's how we met. We was in the Bronx in the pool hall. After that battle, he went to like a show. He got on stage, Jay-Z, where you at?
On one side is Sean Jay-Z Carter, sharp, calculated, already hustling both music and the streets. On the other is DMX, all growl and danger, a force that didn't bluff and didn't back down. What happened next shaped hip-hop history and almost ended it before it even began. The Bronx was about to witness something legendary. This was long before Reasonable Doubt, before private jets and billion-dollar meetings. Back then, Jay-Z was just ambition, bars, and a chip on his shoulder.
Boom. When that said, Jay wasn't lying. Everybody that was on that tour at that point in time was like, we could just pack out.
DMX, real name Earl Simmons, came in from Yonkers with no polish, no deal, just raw rage and hunger. X was buzzing off DJ Clue tapes and Stretch and Bobbito, dangerous and unfiltered. People in the room swear the energy shifted the moment the cypher started. Jay stepped up calm and calculated, rapping like a chess master, every bar precise. Then DMX went next, and the room flipped. He didn't rap, he attacked, growling, barking, spitting pain like a weapon.
No. Dripping sweat. They going crazy. In between songs, he can't even hear what he's saying because they screaming.
There's no official tape, no footage, just whispers passed down like folklore. Some say DMX edged it. Others say Jay held his ground. But everyone agrees on one thing. That night sparked a cold, unspoken rivalry that never fully faded. To DMX, Jay-Z always smelled like industry politics. Too smooth, too polished, too detached to be real. Years later, X would still say he never forgot who showed him love when he was down. And who didn't. Jay never fired shots publicly, but people around him swore he saw something dangerous in DMX that first night. Something ready to snap.
We met battling. That's how we met. We was in the Bronx in the pool hall. After that battle, he went to like a show. He got on stage, Jay-Z, where you at?
That Bronx studio clash became legend, one of the last real underground battles before superstardom. But it wasn't the end. It was the beginning of a silent war. By 1998, both had blown up. Jay-Z went corporate, dropping Vol 2. Hard knock life, flipping Broadway into platinum, and moving like a CEO.
I was actually forced to be an artist and a businessman because when I tried to get a deal, I couldn't get a deal, so I had to create Roc-A-Fella Records. We actually created Roc-A-Fella Records.
DMX did the opposite. It's Dark in Hell is Hot hit like an earthquake. Raw, violent, street. Then he doubled back with Flesh of My Flesh the same year. 2 platinum albums. No polish. Just pain. 2 kings. 2 paths. And the tension only grew.
I go to do the 6th album, and
Jay-Z became president.
Yeah. When he first got the job, he hit me with the call like, yo, dog, MH is running the building, like, yo, you good? Finish the album, shoot the video. What happened? Niggas go.
Both were kings, but the throne felt too small for 2. In the same year, DMX did the unthinkable. 2 back-to-back numbers each was 1. Multi-platinum albums. He wasn't just hot, he was on fire. His music bled pain, faith, and rage, speaking directly to the broken and forgotten. No suits, no boardrooms, just the streets behind him. On paper, Jay-Z and DMX were Def Jam label mates. In reality, they were opposites.
How do you listen to a whole album, pick a single, shoot a video, then don't know? Okay, I see what's really good. You're trying to eliminate the competition. Then get me off the label. Now you're back rapping.
Jay moved with precision and strategy, always thinking 3 steps ahead. DMX moved on instinct and emotion, distrusting politics and anyone who smelled like them, especially Jay. That tension followed them onto the Hard Knock Life tour in 1998. On stage, it looked unified. Backstage, it wasn't. DMX kept his distance, watching closely, uncomfortable with the setup. To him, the tour wasn't about unity. It was a chessboard, and Jay was the one moving the pieces.
New Jersey are investigating claims that rapper DMX was involved in a robbery. A man says the rapper and his entourage pulled out a gun and demanded his money at a gas station.
The tension stayed quiet, but it was heavy. Even when the music stopped, you could feel it. While DMX kept his distance, Jay-Z kept leveling up, building Roc-A-Fella into a full-blown empire with Dame Dash and Biggs. Jay wasn't just chasing hits anymore, he was building power. Inside Def Jam, execs were watching closely. To them, Jay was the perfect future, street enough, business ready, able to sit with CEOs and still speak to the block. DMX saw it too, and it didn't sit right. When rumors spread that Def Jam was backing Jay for more control, it felt like disrespect. The idea of Jay becoming his boss was unthinkable to X. To him, Jay hadn't earned it the same way. What once was respect turned into silent resentment. 2 giants, divided by power, pride, and what hip-hop was supposed to stand for. When Jay-Z took over as Def Jam president, it cut deep. For DMX, it wasn't just business. It proved Jay had become the system he never trusted. Any sense of brotherhood was gone. By 2002, the tension finally snapped. Jay now held real power, and when he reportedly delayed DMX's next album for timing reasons, it felt like betrayal. To X, he was the one who carried Def Jam through the late 90s. Those albums kept the lights on. From that moment on, the rivalry wasn't creative anymore. It was personal. DMX had poured his soul into #1 albums, and now the same label that rose on his voice was slowing him down. Under Jay-Z's watch. To X, that was betrayal. Insiders say he snapped. DMX showed up at Def Jam unannounced, shirtless, pacing with rage, blowing past security and heading straight for the executive floor. This wasn't a meeting, it was a confrontation. He burst into the boardroom, eyes locked on Jay-Z, pointed and yelled, "You think you're my boss? I made this label hot!" The room froze. Jay-Z didn't stand, didn't argue, he just sat there, calm and silent. Calm, stone-faced, like he'd already calculated every outcome. The silence was suffocating. No one moved, no one spoke. Some say DMX reached toward his waistband, others say he didn't have to. His stare alone froze the room. Security was seconds away before something shifted. Maybe Jay-Z's calm, maybe the eyes watching. Maybe X just wanted the message to land without crossing the line. Jay-Z never spoke about that day, but insiders say he walked out changed. Publicly, he stayed professional. Privately, his tone sharpened whenever DMX came up. That moment wasn't just an argument, it was a warning neither man forgot. By the early 2000s, it was clear. DMX wasn't acting. Every growl, every scream came straight from Earl Simmons, raw, real, and torn between genius and self-destruction. A man who never really left the streets, even at the top of the charts. From 1991 to 2013, DMX was arrested over 30 times. Real court records, not rumors. His life was chaos on repeat. In 1998, right after It's Dark and Hell is Hot went platinum, he was arrested in New Jersey with an unlicensed gun. In 2000, he was busted in Buffalo for allegedly carjacking someone after an argument, acting purely on rage. Then, in 2004, things hit another level at JFK Airport, where he was arrested for allegedly impersonating an FBI agent and trying to seize a vehicle. Every arrest added to the legend, part tragedy, part warning. DMX wasn't playing a role. He lived every bar he spit, and the world watched. unsure if it was witnessing a superstar rise or a man slowly burning himself out. By 2007, things got even darker. DMX was hit with animal cruelty charges after authorities found neglected pit bulls on his property. The court saw negligence, and after that the arrests kept coming. Drugs, parole violations, unpaid child support, fights with police. Still, DMX never pretended. He owned his pain and chaos, and fans felt it. For every hit record, there was another mugshot. By the late 2000s, the public saw a star unraveling. But the streets saw someone else, unpredictable, fearless, and real. Especially to Jay-Z, DMX wasn't just troubled. He was dangerous because he didn't care. And when asked in jail if he feared death, X said it plainly, "I ain't scared of death." Jay-Z knew DMX had seen worse than hell, and everyone in the game did too. That's why, even when they traded subliminal shots, it never went further. It wasn't respect, it was survival. Jay understood what it meant to face someone with nothing to lose, someone shaped by real trauma. By 2003, the divide was clear. Jay-Z was rising into a polished mogul, power and strategy on his side, becoming untouchable. DMX stayed raw and unpredictable, battling addiction and legal trouble, while the industry slowly shut its doors. Two paths, two kings, both knowing exactly where the line was and why it couldn't be crossed. Every door that once opened for DMX started closing, and he believed Jay-Z held the keys. As Def Jam shifted under Jay's control, X felt betrayed. New, cleaner artists got pushed hard, while his music was delayed or ignored. By 2006, it boiled over. Year of the Dog again dropped with almost no promotion. No real radio push, no rollout, no tour support. To DMX, it wasn't business anymore. It felt like erasure. The label he once carried was moving on, and he was being left behind. Behind the scenes, DMX's influence quietly faded. Collabs got shelved, calls stopped coming, DJs went silent. He was seen as too raw, too unpredictable for Def Jam's new corporate direction under Jay-Z. To X, the game he helped build had turned on him. So he walked away. DMX left Def Jam and went independent, free, but without the machine. Smaller labels, fewer lights, less promo. The fire stayed, but the betrayal didn't fade. In his eyes, it was two wolves from the same world, and one locked the other out. They came up from the same struggle. But when power shifted, Jay stayed silent, and X never forgot. By the 2010s, Jay-Z was untouchable, a global mogul moving through boardrooms and billion-dollar deals. DMX, meanwhile, was fighting for his life through addiction, jail, and heartbreak. He wasn't the hit machine anymore, but he never stopped being real. And quietly, there were signs Jay hadn't erased him completely. By 2012, whispers spread that Roc Nation had reached out about a possible DMX comeback. The plan was to bring DMX back as a respected legacy act, rebuild his image, support a tour, and maybe help him deliver one last powerful album. It could have been the redemption fans always wanted, but it never happened. Some say X didn't trust the offer. Others say he refused to let anyone, especially Jay-Z, control his next move. For DMX, it was never about contracts or branding. It was about truth and loyalty. Still, his brilliance broke through. In 2020, during Versus with Snoop Dogg, DMX looked alive, focused, and full of heart. He smiled, laughed, and poured emotion into every verse. It felt like resurrection. The world remembered why they loved him, and somewhere behind the scenes, even Jay-Z was watching. Jay-Z's tone wasn't cold or calculated. It sounded heavy, emotional, almost regretful. In a rare interview, he admitted, "X brought out something in me nobody else did. I respected him. I just couldn't control him." That one line said everything. Control was never what DMX wanted. He wanted realness, loyalty, and truth without conditions. Things the industry rarely gives. Any hope of a real reconciliation faded. No hugs, no deals, just mutual regret. DMX for trusting too few, Jay-Z for stepping in too late. Two legends from the same hunger, separated by power and time. Then on April 2nd, 2021, sirens cut through the night in White Plains. DMX collapsed after a massive heart attack, reportedly triggered by an overdose. By the time he reached the hospital, his brain had been deprived of oxygen. The warrior who roared through decades of pain was now fighting in silence. No mic, no stage, just machines, prayers, and the hard truth that even the strongest can fall. Machines kept him breathing, but DMX never woke up. For a week, the world prayed outside the hospital, candles lit, speakers blasting Ruff Ryders' anthem, hoping for a miracle that never came. On April 9th, 2021, at just 50 years old, DMX was pronounced dead. The world mourned loudly. Jay-Z mourned quietly. No speeches, no verses, just silence. Behind the scenes, whispers spread that Jay-Z and Beyoncé quietly secured DMX's masters to return them to his children, not for profit, but for protection. A final act of respect for a man who gave everything to his art. DMX was never just a rapper. He was a storm. Rage and faith, chaos and love, all in one voice. When he left, hip-hop didn't just lose an icon, it lost its raw heartbeat. Jay-Z never dissed him again. Some energies are too real to touch. That day in 2002, when DMX stormed into Def Jam fearless and furious, Jay didn't see a rival. He saw a warning. And sometimes the wisest move is silence. If this story hit you, do me a favor. Like this video, drop your thoughts in the comments, subscribe to Celebrial, and share this with someone who still feels DMX's music in their bones. Let's keep the legend alive.